So, hi everyone. Welcome to our college chat series. And today we're really happy and honored to have Katrina Ocampo here today to introduce to us about her college life, her life tips. So, welcome.
Thank you for having me. My name is Katrina Ocampo. Well, my nickname is Kayla. I'm a fourth year psychology major in UBC. I'm also minoring in creative writing.
So, first question, which college or university did you attend and what year are you in?
I'm attending the University of British Columbia in Vancouver, in Canada, and I'm in the fourth year.
What's your major and why did you choose it?
My major is psychology, and I chose it because initially I wanted to do psychology research. But right now I think I chose it because I wanted to have a more broader options for my career, and I feel like psychology is like the right fit for that because it's the study of like the human mind, and a lot of jobs
Mm-hmm.
require that.
So, are you doing a double major or a minor? If so, what are they?
I minor in creative writing, so it's something that I've always wanted to do. I really love writing, and I also want to incorporate that in the career that I want to have once I graduate.
What's your favorite style of writing?
Um, I always gravitate to nonfiction, I guess
Mm,
because I like talking about my experiences. But right now, I really do like fiction, and I like writing and building characters that are kind of inspired by real life people.
what does a typical week look like for you academically?
Yeah, so in UBC, the maximum number of courses you can take are 5 classes, and that's already like fully loaded, and that's a bit stressful. So usually I have 4 to 5 courses per term, which is translated to 15 credits, and 15 credits means 15 hours in a week. Um, like I said, right now I'm doing 4 courses, so that's around 12 credits. So that's 12 hours in a week. So I have classes for 12 hours in a week. And I'm taking one remote class. So typically I go to class in the afternoon because I'm actually really lucky that I get to choose my classes in the afternoon. So I take classes in the afternoon, and then afterwards I do a lot of studying. I
Mm,
study and I do like some extracurricular things, like just like this and other things that I'm volunteering for. But mainly, I go to class and then I study afterwards.
I see. Do you think the workload is very high, or how do you balance that?
Right now I'm taking upper level credits, so like 300 to 400 level credits, and yes, the workload
Hmm.
is a bit more than level 100 or level 200 courses.
How would you describe the academic culture at your school? It's competitive or collaborative?
There's definitely a lot of smart people at UBC. I mean, I believe everybody, all my classmates are pretty smart, but I think it's very collaborative. I don't really feel very like it was a competitive atmosphere. Like for one of my classes, I made friends with my seatmates, and most of the time, every time I make friends in class, we make like a group chat so we can help each other study. And yeah, it's very much collaborative rather than competitive for me.
I guess you probably already answered this question, but um, have you taken any online or hybrid courses?
Yeah, so this year I'm taking one remote, but it's just been the second week. But last year I took a hybrid course that only met every Friday and the rest was online. Um, Definitely the experience is a bit different because you have to take more initiative to do your assignments because it's not like an in-person class where you can just have attendance and everything like that. There's always um there's always some form of assignment that you do by yourself to count as attendance. So it takes like more responsibility, I guess, than in-person classes.
How accessible and supportive are your professors?
They're very accessible and supportive. So UBC does this thing, has this department called the Center of Accessibility. I'm not sure if it's a department, but it's like a center for people who have disabilities or having a hard time with school. And that's actually one of my jobs last year. I was a note taker for this person with disability in our class. So I took down notes and I formatted them in order to make them disability friendly. And that's just like a service that UBC gives to its students. Apart from that, there's also, if you have financial need and you need to buy your textbook, it could also be waived by the school, which is very nice of them. And
Mm.
there's a lot of resources and help that you get from UBC, definitely.
How do you stay motivated during tough academic seasons like finals?
Um, Definitely, I have to learn to take breaks, kind of
Mm-hmm.
like the Pomodoro method, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can study, but you always have to make sure to take breaks, or else you would burn out. And I think that's one of the toughest things that I went through, is that I always just kept studying and studying, studying, and then I eventually burnt out by the end of the semester. So that's usually really hard for me. So that's what I kind of advise from people is, you know, it's good to work hard, but you also have to take breaks, treat yourself to an iced coffee or something like that. Like you always have to make sure to rest, definitely.
What's your favorite class so far and why?
My favorite class that I've ever taken is called Creative Writing for Children and Young Adults. And I really like that class because I really bonded well with my professor, and I also bonded well with my classmates. And apart from that, writing for children and young adults is something I've never learned before. And it was a challenge at first, but it was really fun, and it's really something that I'm going to do again next term. I'm taking the next level of that class. So I'm really excited for that class next year.
Was your major what you expected it to be?
Um, I know that since psychology is like a science, it has a lot to do with memorization.
Mm-hmm.
And I took a psych
Mm-hmm.
class before I got to my major, and it is roughly the same. Like it has a lot to do with memorization, so I did expect that, definitely. But then there are also two requirements in UBC for psych majors, and one of them is analysis of behavioral data, which is about math and statistics, and I didn't expect to do that. So yeah, be ready for that if you go to UBC. But it is doable, and again, like the atmosphere is very collaborative.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's working together to help each other out.
Have you taken any classes that surprised you or changed your perspective?
Definitely, I had a creative writing class with indigenous focus, and it was a requirement for my major. It's called Place and Power, and UBC requires students to take it so that they understand the past and all the discrimination that was happening
Mm-hmm.
back then. And I learned a lot because I don't know anything about it, because I'm an international student and I'm from the
Mm.
Philippines, so I don't know
Mm-hmm.
much about it. And seeing it from a creative writing focus is really interesting, and I learned a lot from it.
Are you involved in any clubs?
Um, right now, I write for the student newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
So I've written an article about the new building here, and yeah, so that's something that I want to keep being involved in. I really am passionate about writing, so anything to do with writing, I really do. And I also volunteer for the Vancouver Writers Fest, which is really fun.
How have you found a sense of community on campus?
Yeah, so I met a lot of people from my classes, and I think one thing is to always um, take every opportunity that you have. If you want to go to this event, then it's not bad to go to this event, because you meet a lot of people there, and
Mm-hmm.
it's good to always be kind of proactive about making friends. Always, try your best to talk to people. I know it's hard when you're introverted, and I am also. And I just really make sure to put effort in talking to people and really getting to know them, because there's a lot of people from different places in the world in UBC, and it's very
Mm.
interesting to get to know them.
So is like does UBC have very diverse like a diversity? of students.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Are there traditions or events unique to your college?
Yeah, so we have a bunch of events, definitely. One of them is called Storm the Wall. So it's a bunch of students that are trying to help each other get through a 12-foot wall.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's very interesting because when you go to class, you just see that there's a huge wall and people are trying to get to it. I think it's like a metaphor or something. And they have lots of events. There's always something happening in UBC the entire year. There's always an event that you can go to,
Mm-hmm.
and they even do like cold plunges in the beach because
Mm-hmm.
UBC has, I believe, three beaches, and
Wow.
in the winter, I think when school ends, they plunge into the beach to like reward themselves, I guess, for finals and everything, which is really funny but
Mm-hmm.
interesting too. Oh, they also do snowball fights.
Aw.
Yeah. They have an annual snowball fight event.
Do you live on campus, off campus, or commute?
I live on campus and I'm very lucky that I got to live on campus because commuting is very hard. It's difficult to get out of school during rush hours, and it's very difficult to go in the school at like 8 a.m. because the buses are packed all the time. And at the end of the day, there's always a line of people in the buses because unfortunately, UBC doesn't have a train yet going to UBC and going out,
Mm-hmm.
and they're signing a petition right now. So hopefully in the future we get a train so
Mm.
commute would be easier for the students.
How have you changed or grown since starting college?
um I guess I learned a lot from my classes, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But I think most of all, it's moving to a new country is really is life changing. And I got to learn how to be by myself, and I um to learn to be independent and responsible for everything that I do. And also meeting people that are different from the community I was in back in the Philippines. I think it's really nice to be with different people and with different backgrounds.
How do you manage stress and balance school with everything else?
I guess it's like what I said back then. Like
Mm-hmm.
I, it's really good to take breaks because I think research says that you do need to take a break. I cannot stay up that late, or I cannot lack sleep because that will just ruin everything. So I think the best way is to always study in advance, or um what I do is like I make like a study plan, like which dates and which topics that I study per day. And it's also scientifically proven to study the same topic for a couple days and
Mm.
test yourself afterwards. That's how you learn the best.
Mm-hmm. So definitely plan early, make a study guide, and make a study schedule,
Yeah,
right? Not
definitely.
just the night before.
Yeah.
What is something you wish you knew before starting college? Or like something you would do differently?
I guess something that I would do differently now, and I am trying to do differently, is appreciating the time that I have here, because
Mm-hmm.
my mindset is always like what's next? What do I do next? How do I, like right now I'm always so stressed of having a career and having a job after
Mm.
graduation. And people always tell me like you have to appreciate being here because it's such a beautiful place, and just appreciate college now, and appreciate the time and freedom that you have right now because you can't get that back anymore.
Yeah, so live in the present.
Yeah,
And
live in the present,
I
definitely.
think I think like all of us are always like looking at the futures and
Yeah,
like when you think about it today, it's what's the future of yesterday.
yesterday. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
exactly.
What
No
is
problem.
one challenge that you have faced in college?
Definitely was my math course because I haven't taken math in so long.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's like a different kind of math. It's like analysis, and
Mm-hmm.
they
Stats.
teach you how, yeah, stats. They teach you how to use this software for stats, and I was able to overcome it. Um, technically I was able to overcome it and not fail that class because I did well in the first part, because the first part is always the easiest part. It's really much harder as you progress. So it would be good to start strong so that in case it gets really hard, you have some kind of leeway.
Mm. Yeah, I think math is challenging for a lot of people because
Yeah.
it shift to like something that we don't do in high school.
Yeah, especially for art students.
Mm. Yeah. What's the hardest class? Is like the analysis one the hardest one, or
Yeah,
do you have
that's definitely the
calculus?
hardest one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you participated in any research opportunities?
Yeah, so the prerequisite of that stats class is a research methods class. So that's also a requirement for a psych degree. You have to do research with your group. So I was able to do that, and we had to do our own research and conduct the experiment with participants and analyze the data and also write a research report about it and finally present it in a conference at the end of the year. So it was kind of like having your own research. And I think that class really helps you have research experience for any research opportunities in the future.
Yeah. Do you think the access to do research, do you have like do students usually have access to do research?
Yeah, definitely a lot. There's a lot of volunteer opportunities and also paid opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, the psych department has a lot of resources. They have advisors to help you with your degree, and if there are any research opportunities, there's always, and even something as simple as communicating with your prof, because
Mm-hmm.
professors in UBC usually are psych professors in UBC usually have research because they have like PhDs and stuff.
Yeah.
And you can always ask them, because that's how one of my friends got her job, is she asked her professor if there are any research opportunities, and the prof like gave her a job. So it's just something as simple as that, definitely.
Okay, I guess that's the end of our college chats today.